From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Friday. Good morning to you. I'm Nicole Griffin.
Good morning. I'm Rafael Sanchez, and these are your headlines on this December the 11th. A major step forward to getting you a COVID-19 vaccine. We are breaking down the next steps as Pfizer inches closer to FDA approval.
Plus, if you're offered early access to a vaccine, it could be a scam. What you need to be on the lookout for so you don't get taken advantage of.
And many businesses, they're pivoting, taking their products and services online. Our Kelsey Anderson shows us how one local company is cashing in on those changes. It is Friday, and welcome to you to Good Morning Indiana. I'm Rafael Sanchez, joined this morning by Nicole Griffin and Kyle Mounts in Studio A. And guys, I dressed up for you today because the weather was fantastic yesterday, and I'm just hoping for another lovely day in central Indiana.
Well, good morning, Rafael. You look great today, and I think Kyle may have some good news for us.
Come on, Kyle.
I don't think you're going to need those heavier winter coats by this afternoon. Once again, we've got some more mild temperatures, a few more clouds, but really we can handle that here in December when we are starting off with a temperature of 45 degrees in the city. Feels like 41, still very manageable with that light south wind under 10 miles per hour. Temperatures, they're even starting to come up a little bit for you in the Peru area. Now at 40 degrees, you're out of the 30s thanks to that warm front that's lifting through, and still at 50 in the Martinsville area this morning. There's a few of those clouds streaming in. They're a little bit thicker as we look back across areas closer to the Mississippi River, and those will stream our direction here as we go a little later in the day. So an increase in clouds, but we are going to keep it dry through the daylight hours. A high temperature today all the way to 60 degrees. Tonight, rain chances will overtake the area. Rain is likely with a mild low of 50, and that wet weather is going to stick around to start off the weekend. We'll time that out for you here in just a little bit, but Nicole is checking out your roads this morning.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Let's take a live look outside this morning on this Friday. Here's a look at I-70 at Emerson Avenue, where you can see traffic is moving up to speed at this hour. We aren't tracking any major delays or crashes so far, but we will be keeping you updated. The first COVID-19 vaccine has been recommended for emergency use authorization by an FDA advisory panel.
And Nicole, today Pfizer's vaccine could get that final approval from the federal agency, meaning that doses could be shipped by the millions across the country in just a matter of days. So what's next in this situation? The recommendation now goes to the full FDA for authorization. That could come again as soon as today. Once the green light is given, Pfizer will begin sending out the first 2.9 million doses across the country within 24 hours. That includes 55,000 doses that will be given to Indiana's frontline healthcare workers. So when can you expect to be eligible for that vaccine? Experts say healthcare workers and other essential workers like emergency medical techs, firefighters, and police officers will be next in line, likely in January. By February, vaccinations may move to other facilities like pharmacies, medical practices, and to higher-risk adults. In March, it's possible that the United States will be in the first phase because of the sheer numbers involved. And then by April, if more vaccines have been approved, Phase 2 of vaccinations could begin. Now, this group might include teachers and in grades K through 12, staff, and other child care workers. Retail and transportation workers may also be in that category. Young adults and children would have to wait until Phase 3, which is likely to occur in May at the earliest.
When approved, Pfizer's vaccine will be used in adults and teens 16 and older, but there is work being done to get vaccine approval for younger people. Moderna has started trial of its COVID-19 vaccines in U.S. adolescents. The study is being conducted in collaboration with the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority. The company is looking to enroll 3,000 American teens. Researchers will evaluate the safety and efficacy of administering 2 vaccine doses 28 days apart to children ages 12 to 17.
So Nicole, with all this talk about the vaccine, all this talk about a timeline, there are many concerns about scam artists attempting to rip you off. And so scammers already have been sending emails, texts, and social media messages offering early access to a vaccine. They may pose as the health department, an insurance company representative, or your medical provider to offer you the vaccine. So know this, the Indiana Secretary of State's office recommends getting vaccine information from two main sources, the State Department of Health and the Centers for Disease Control.
If you are someone who is in a high-risk category, you need to be connecting with the real sources of vaccines and not somebody who's just going to take your money. It should be noted, too, that everything we've heard so far is that these vaccines will be free. So if anyone is trying to charge you for a vaccine, that is a huge red flag.
So please, please, please keep this in mind. Remember that a vaccine distribution site or your insurance company will not call and ask for your social security number or financial information. We are answering the key questions concerning the COVID-19 vaccine. We have easy to see information right now on what's happening and when that vaccine will arrive. That's up right now on our website, WRTV.com.
News of a COVID vaccine comes at a time when we are seeing the coronavirus killing Americans at a rate we have never seen before. Wednesday, there were more than 3,000 coronavirus deaths reported, the highest daily death toll so far. By Thursday morning, the total U.S. death count stood at more than 289,000. And experts say things will get worse. Dr. Robert Redfield with the Centers for Disease Control say the next 60 to 90 days we will have more deaths per day than we had on 9/11 or we had at Pearl Harbor. The CDC is now projecting there will be between 332,000 to 362,000 coronavirus deaths by January 2nd.
Here locally in the capital city, Marion County Health Director Dr. Virginia Kane painted a stark picture of the pandemic's effect. Dr. Kane in Marion County says had less than 5% positivity rate for 2 weeks back in September, but as of December the 5th, we're at 14.6%. The 7-day average of new cases is 939 per day, meaning that Marion County has tripled the number of cases since the beginning of November through December the 5th. Dr. Kane also provided a key update involving in-person learning for Marion County schools. She shared a graph showing that middle and elementary school age children and those under the age of 5 have the lowest rates for COVID. Dr. Kane says this shows that schools are not contributing to community spread of COVID-19. So the county will allow in-person learning again this beginning on January the 4th. In order to return to school, the following requirements must be met. Students and staff must be able to social distance. Students in grades 3 and above and all staff members must wear masks. Parents, students, and teachers are recommended to avoid non-essential travel and contact outside of their household 10 days before the return to school.
It is 5:08 with so many large and small shops adapting to the pandemic and turning to put their businesses online. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with how the pandemic is positively impacting web designers. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nicole. So for years, we've kind of been gradually moving online, whether they be small mom and pop businesses or those huge manufacturers. That gradual online move has now been put in fast forward because of this pandemic, and it is positively benefiting web designers across the country. So I spoke with Cody Sharp at Sharp Guys Web Design, and he says they have seen an influx in clients since the pandemic began. From mom and pop shops to huge companies, everyone seems to be going digital, which is proving to be a positive for web designers across the country.
We've had a lot of opportunities for growth that I didn't expect when we started this year, and we really just want to help as many people as possible. We can't help everyone, but we've been trying to help even the people that we can't help directly. We're trying to just give an idea of these are the small things you can do right now that will impact your business online, and so we try to just give people any kind of recommendations for those types of things.
So Sharp Guys Web Design, they do offer free website analysis. So if you already have a website and you just want to get that analysis on how you can make it work better for you, you can reach out to Sharp Guys Web Design. We've got their information for you on WRTV.com. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you so much. From Hamilton County, the city of Carmel has reached an agreement with the owners of the GOAT. Earlier in the week, as you may recall, the popular bar, as we reported, was accused of not following COVID regulations and causing problems for neighbors, especially loud noise. Thursday, the city announced new temporary restrictions for the Tavern. Those include closing at 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and at midnight Friday and Saturday, ending all food and beverage service 1 hour prior to closing, and no live music, and the closure of the Sandlot outdoor area, including the fire pit. The city will reconsider these conditions in February. Now time to check your forecast. And Kyle Mounts, I went out yesterday and I thought for a second that I was in April, not December, when I saw a big clock that said 59 degrees. Awesome.
Yeah, we hit 60 yesterday afternoon for a high temperature, and Raphael, I think we'll do kind of a do-over today here. Still going to reach around 60 this afternoon, although we'll have more clouds around. This morning, you're in the upper 30s in Kokomo, Logansport at 36. We've got temperatures in the upper 40s, though, in Bloomington and Muncie. Radar is quiet for us, and it will stay that way for much of the day. So the umbrella, you can leave that at home. It's later tonight and then through Saturday that we will need that umbrella here, as it's going to be a little bit more on the wet side. There's a look at those rain chances. 8 o'clock this evening, about 40% chance of rain, but then it climbs pretty quickly here, about 100% as we go into our Saturday morning. It'll stick around into the afternoon, but should start to taper off. We'll talk about how much wet weather is coming our way in just a bit. Raphael?
Kyle, thank you so much. The December deadline and what it means for hundreds of thousands of families in Indiana and across the country. What's on the table now? And will lawmakers make a deal before going home for Christmas? Nicole?
Tax time is right around the corner, and this year there are a few extra things you need to keep in mind when filing. We're breaking down everything you need to know straight ahead right here on Good Morning Indiana. Welcome back. The time now is 5:14. This week's unemployment report saw another increase in the number of Hoosiers filing first-time unemployment claims. According to the Department of Labor, 26,910 Hoosiers filed first-time claims during the week ending December 5th. The week before that, more than 20,500 people in Indiana filed for unemployment for the first time. In the 32 weeks since the pandemic began, more than 1.1 million Hoosiers have filed for unemployment. And across the country, unemployment claims have hit their highest level since mid-September. Another 853,000 Americans filed for first-time unemployment benefits last week on a seasonally adjusted basis. That's the third increase in the past 4 weeks. Under the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which helps people like the self-employed, nearly 428,000 workers filed claims. Continued jobless claims rose to 5.8 million with seasonal adjustments. That's the count for workers who have filed for unemployment benefits for at least 2 weeks in a row. Raphael.
Good morning to Columbus, Pendleton, and Danville. In the nation's capital today, 2 major financially focused deadlines are now looming. The first one, how to keep the government open. The second one, how to help millions of Hoosiers and Americans struggling during this COVID-19 pandemic. Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky wants to delay a vote on the National Defense Authorization Act. He says an amendment in that bill limits the president from withdrawing troops from war zones. Meanwhile, Democrats, they're insisting that state and local governments get money to prevent layoffs and another round of direct stimulus payments. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, instead, he wants money to go directly to a liability shield for companies and organizations facing potential COVID lawsuits.
People are in lines begging for food, looking for food for each meal for their children. And the renters are absolutely terrified that they're going to be evicted.
We need to pass COVID relief before the end of the year, and I hope members of the Democrat leadership will decide that they're willing to move forward to meet our country's most critical COVID priorities.
So understand this, unless Senate leaders fix those last-minute differences, the U.S. government shuts down at midnight.
It is time to start thinking about tax season, and this year there are some things you'll want to consider. Stimulus payments will be part of your tax return. That money is not taxable, and if you got too much, you do not have to pay it back. But if you didn't get the amount you are eligible for, you can get it as a recovery tax rebate. Unemployment income is taxable, and if you didn't already have taxes taken out, you will want to be prepared to pay those. If you are working from home but living in another state, that could mean 2 state tax returns. Also, there are some tax credits you may be eligible for.
If you were sick or you took care of someone that was sick or took care of a family member. They're the qualified sick and family leave credits, and they can be worth thousands of dollars.
The IRS has not said when the tax filing season will open, but it's usually in early January. It is 5:18. Let's check back in with Kyle. Kyle, if you like warm weather in December, today's a pretty good day.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the warmth, this is your day. If you're waiting for some snow, you're going to continue to wait here quite a while longer, I think. We got our temperature at 45 degrees in Indianapolis, 38 in Kokomo, and upper 40s in Bloomington. Skies are still mostly clear with a south breeze around 7 miles per hour. This morning, mix of sun and clouds out there, and temperatures that will make their way to 47 here at 10 a.m., 52 at 11. So we're already in the middle 50s for the lunch hour. Clouds get a little bit thicker this afternoon, but still we will see those temperatures topping out around 60 degrees here in Indianapolis. 62 for you in the Columbus area, even upper 50s in Lafayette and Muncie at 59 degrees. South wind around 10 miles per hour throughout the day. Here's a look at the big picture and radar. Things are all nice and quiet here across the Ohio Valley. This is our weather system, though. We see some rain that stretches back across portions of Kansas and into Missouri, and there's some snow there in Nebraska. We're going to stay on the warmer side of this system as far as the precipitation is concerned, so that means rain for us. As we go right through the evening drive, though, we will be dry. Not going to need those windshield wipers there, but if you're out this evening, a little different story. By 10 o'clock, we've got some scattered light rain showers. That becomes more widespread overnight, and it does start off a rather soggy Saturday for us. As we go into the middle part of the day, by noon, still some showers for you around the Muncie area, into Rushville, maybe a rumble of thunder or two, but I think the rain chances do taper off a little bit. As far as rainfall amounts, generally about a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch, some areas a little bit more, certainly not out of the question. As we check out your Saturday planning forecast, we're going to have the rain, especially first half of the day, with temperatures that make their way into the middle 50s. Then those numbers will start to drop as we get into the evening hours, back into the upper 40s at 4 o'clock. And throughout the day on Saturday, we're going to have those wind gusts between about 30 and 40 miles per hour. At least it's a mild wind for much of the day. Then things do start to turn a little bit colder here as we go into our Sunday. There you see those winds. They start to die down a little bit into Sunday, but they're coming out of that northwesterly direction, and that takes our high temperature to 40 degrees. So back to average for the second half of the weekend. 7-day planning forecast as we put it all together here for you, and we've got those temperatures that do turn a little bit colder heading into next week. Highs are in the 30s, just a small chance for some snow showers as we get to Wednesday. Raphael?
Kyle, Time Magazine has named the 2020 Person of the Year, but this year it's not one person, it's two people. This year's honor goes to President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Biden and Harris, as you know, made history in November, with Biden being the first presidential candidate to win more than 80 million votes. And Harris, when inaugurated, will become the first woman and the first Black and South Asian person to serve as vice president in our country's history. NBA star LeBron James, he took the Athlete of the Year. The 35-year-old led the Lakers to a record-tying 17th championship title. He has also been on one of sports' leading voices in speaking out against racial injustice and police brutality. On top of that, you may recall that he established the organization called More Than a Vote in an effort to combat voter suppression. Now, Korean pop group BTS was named Time Entertainer of the Year.
All right, very interesting. Thank you, Raphael. Well, coming up, a local author is addressing the importance of diversity in kids' picture books. At 5:30, her mission to make sure every child feels seen and included. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. Stay with us. Welcome back. Here's some weekend motivation to do something nice for others. Customers at a Dairy Queen in Minnesota filled their karma buckets as well as their bellies last week.
And so there was a spontaneous chain of drive-through customers paying for the cars behind them. And over the course of a few days, Nicole, Good Samaritans, they spent about $10,000 on each other. The Pay It Forward chain lasted from Thursday until Saturday. In all, 900 people participated. Now, I've done that. If I see someone wearing a veteran's hat or maybe a grandma or maybe a car full of kids, I'll pay for it because I figure those folks deserve it no matter what's going on in that vehicle.
That is an impressive chain, Raphael. And you know what? I bet a lot of people will be wanting some ice cream today with those temperatures that are not very December-like out there. We see across the region that we have temperatures that are on the mild side, numbers in the 40s and 50s. There is some colder air waiting off in the wings to the northwest, but let's focus on the warmth we've got, and we will be closer to a record than a average high today. As we get to 60, there's that record. Should be safe once again at 66. So 60 today, middle 50s tomorrow with rain showers around the area, and then those temperatures turn a little bit colder here as we get into our Sunday. We'll have a high around 40 degrees, and that's going to be a trend that takes us into next week. It's going to feel more December-like, but will it look like December with some snow chances? We'll talk about that. It is 5:26 here, about to turn 5:27 on your Friday morning. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on WRTV.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
An important change for students and teachers in Marion County. Now at 5:30, while the Public Health Department is saying class can be back in session sooner than expected.
We want to welcome you in here to Good Morning Indiana here on this Friday. It is 5:30. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Nicole Griffin, joined by Raphael Sanchez. Raphael, I don't know if you've been outside yet, but I walked out and I was kind of surprised because it's pretty nice on this Friday morning.
So listen, my calendar, the official living room calendar, says December the 11th. But Kyle Mounts, temporarily, I'm just going to call it April the 11th just because it feels so good.
I'm good with that. That also means we've got some more shopping days, right?
Oh, yeah.
That gives us a little extra time.
Looking at the positive.
All right, we got some temperatures out there this morning, though, that aren't going to have your teeth chattering if the kids are heading off to the bus stop. We got 45 degrees in Indianapolis, 42 in Lafayette with clear skies, and we've got 48 on the thermometer for you this morning in Bloomington, and those temperatures are running about 15 to 20 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. And yesterday we topped out at 60 degrees. We're going to do that again today, I think. One change, though. We've got a few more clouds that are streaming in overhead this morning. They're pretty thin clouds. They're not going to be bringing us any precipitation. We've got some thicker cloud cover back into portions of Iowa and Missouri that will roll our way eventually. As we get into the afternoon, it will be an increase in the clouds, but still very mild as we have that south breeze. Our temperature at 60 miles per hour. The showers, they will arrive later this evening into tonight and could hang around as we go into the upcoming weekend. We're going to talk about how much rain to expect in just a bit. Nicole?
All right, Kyle, thank you. Let's take a live look outside on this Friday morning here at 5:31. This is I-465 here at Madison Avenue. Traffic moving up to speed at this hour. No delays or crashes to slow you down across the metro area. We will keep an eye on traffic all morning long and keep you updated on any new crashes or delays.
Nicole, with new data from the CDC and new information recommendations from of course, the health departments, Marion County schools can return to in-person learning earlier than planned. The county's top health leader, Dr. Virginia Kane, announced that students in 1st through 12th grades can return to the classroom on January the 4th. Now, that's a change from the original dates of January the 15th. Dr. Kane says the decision was made after data shows that schools are not contributing to community spread of COVID-19. The CDC's also changed its new recommendations for quarantining from 7 to 10 days rather than 14 days. But students and staff are being asked to take extra precautions before that return date.
Any parent, any student, and teachers are recommended to avoid any unnecessary contact outside of their household at least 10 days prior to the January the 4th return. That is so critical.
Now, some school districts are already responding to the change. IPS says it does not anticipate changing their return date, while others like Perry Township on the south side of Indianapolis will do so. We have more on the changes and the response from school districts right now on our website, WRTV.com.
Now to the latest information on the coronavirus pandemic here in Indiana. Indiana has now surpassed 400,000 total COVID-19 cases. The State Department of Health reporting 6,604 new cases on Thursday. 96 more Hoosiers have also died with the virus. Since March, more than 6,300 Hoosiers have died with the virus. 573 of those have been reported so far in December.
Businesses, small and large, are putting a bigger emphasis on online services for their services and their products. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with how the pandemic is having a positive impact for web designers. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So I spoke to Cody Sharp at Sharp Guys Web Design, and he says we all know that this was moving gradually online, everything from small businesses to large manufacturers. But COVID-19 and those stay-at-home orders put all of that in fast forward, which is meaning that they are all reaping the benefits of this move online.
We typically attend conferences, walks, outreach events, one-on-one parent trainings, in-person parent trainings. A lot of our business is in person. And so when pandemic hit, it became pretty obvious that we were going to have to pivot quickly.
Carla Webster works for Bierman Autism Center. They provide one-on-one speech and occupational therapy to kids on the autism spectrum.
At the beginning of the pandemic, it was apparent pretty quickly that we were a essential business.
They are still working with children one-on-one, but they aren't able to have parents come in and tour the facility or work with them to fill the gaps at home. So they partnered with Sharp Guys Web Design to help them reach more parents and help more children with autism.
These guys are doing such amazing work helping children with autism. We've done some digital marketing, helping people find them through search, helping people see their ads, and then actually also kind of creating some different plans around email marketing as well for their company.
Cody Sharp runs Sharp Guys Web Design, and he says they were fortunate because the changes caused by the pandemic have brought them a lot of new opportunities.
A lot of companies that were doing a lot of traditional marketing now all of a sudden are starting to look to the web. It's opportunity that's really been there for the last couple of years, but they just didn't realize, they didn't really recognize it a lot of times.
He tells me they work with companies from small mom and pop shops to large manufacturers. And at the end of the day, it feels good knowing his services are keeping some of these businesses afloat.
A lot of our clients are just doing such crucial work. Even we work with dentists and they're doing important work for people's health. We're working with, like our autism clinic here, but we work with manufacturers. All of these people are doing such amazing work. We just are very fortunate. It feels really good to be able to help these people.
So Sharp Guys Web Design, they offer a free website analysis. So even if they can't help you make a new website or if you already have an existing website, they can kind of run some tests for you for free. Again, just to kind of tell you how you can better improve your website and make yourself more noticeable to those customers you're trying to reach. You can find information on that right now on WRTV.com. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
All right, Kelsey, thank you. Well, the top lawmaker in the Indiana House is in quarantine after testing positive for COVID-19. Republican House Speaker Todd Houston of Fishers received his test results Wednesday and is quarantining at home. His office says he has mild symptoms and has not been at the State House within the past week. His office also says Houston has not had recent contact with other legislators or staff. The 2021 legislative session is expected to start on January 4th.
Working together, a big food drive is hoping to help thousands of Hoosiers, and so you're invited to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for this help. Tomorrow, employees with Anthem Blue Shield are holding a mobile food distribution center at the track. The goal is to serve up to 2,000 households with fresh produce, frozen meats, as well as dairy products. The event is no contact and runs from 10 until 1 in the afternoon. To enter the track, please use Gate 2 on West 16th Street.
And this morning, a children's book author is addressing the importance of diversity in children's picture books, not just with skin color, but also with holiday traditions. Yolanda T Marshall was born in Guyana and later moved to Canada. In her book, A Piece of Black Cake for Santa, she explores the difference between Western and Caribbean Christmas traditions. She hopes children who share her background can see themselves in her characters and that other kids can enjoy the book while learning about a different culture.
You know that people are out there looking for this, and I'm more so educating our younger generation. So with every book that comes out, like I find more people are gravitating. And that's great. Like I just, for myself, I'm a parent, and I want my readers to know that, guess what? You're going to learn about new cultures, and you're going to learn about yourself too. It allows you to just have an imagination and have it relate to your home, and also teaches others to respect that this is what it is in my home. This is how my Santa is going to be, and that's just fine.
Well, you can learn more about Marshall's books and her thoughts on representation in this story on the WRTV app. And Kyle, hard to believe Christmas is 2 weeks from today.
Wow, yeah, it is vastly approaching, isn't it? And you may have some shopping that you still need to get done. If you've got some errands, today is going to be a great day for those. We've got more dry weather and mild temperatures. And this morning, our temperatures kind of running the range from 38 in Kokomo to 50 in Bloomington, 45 downtown. This afternoon, 60 for you in Frankfort, 59 in Lafayette. We'll find those temperatures right around 60 in Richmond and Newcastle, Indianapolis as well. 63 today in Seymour, and 62 will be your top number in Spencer. As we go into the upcoming weekend, those temperatures are going to be changing, but today will be not too far away from that record of 66 degrees. We look at those highs on Saturday in the 50s. By the time we get into Sunday, those numbers not going to recover a whole lot, as we're only around 40 degrees. Raphael?
Kyle, thank you so much. For the first time in more than a decade, doctors are changing the way they treat asthma. Coming up, how the new guidelines aim to help millions of Americans with that disease.
And the Colts are fighting to stay in the playoff picture, how the team is preparing for this weekend's big matchup. That's coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues.
A controversial execution was carried out in Terre Haute for a man who was 18 years old when he committed this heinous crime. 40-year-old Brandon Bernard died by lethal injection for his role in the deadly carjacking of youth ministers Todd and Stacey Bagley back in 1999. Several celebrities came to Bernard's defense, arguing for life in prison. Among those celebrities, Kim Kardashian West. But Thursday, the Supreme Court denied his last-minute appeal. Kardashian responded on Twitter by writing the following: "I'm so messed up right now. They killed Brandon. He was such a reformed person, so hopeful and positive until the end." 4 more federal executions are planned during President Trump's remaining weeks in office. One of those executions is scheduled for later today. If all 4 executions move forward, President Trump will have overseen 13 executions while in office. That's the most of any president in the last century.
This morning, the search for 2 missing workers at an Ohio power plant is now a recovery mission. Part of the building at the Killen generating station in Adams County collapsed Wednesday morning, trapping workers inside. The workers were part of a demolition crew. Rescue crews were able to find 3 of the workers who were taken to the hospital, but 2 others are still missing.
Doug was amazing. He was super friendly, and he would do anything for anybody. So, I mean, if any one of us was laying in there in his spot, he would be out here doing everything he could to get anybody out.
The Occupational Safety and Health Administration is investigating the accident. The building was supposed to be taken down on December 14th.
Good morning to Greenfield, Danville, and Lebanon this morning. The way that doctors treat asthma in both children and adults just got a major update. Respiratory experts say the changes in guidelines focus on 6 very key areas, including improving asthma diagnosis, management, as well as the treatment. Now, one of the biggest changes is many patients may not need to use an inhaler every single day. The new recommendations for inhaler use vary by age and the severity of asthma. It's key to talk to your doctor about these new guidelines.
The National Weather Service could limit the amount of information it releases to protect the agency's computer servers. The National Weather Service admits its servers can crash in times of high traffic. One proposal is to limit access to 60 users per minute. Those limitations would apply to sites providing weather warnings, forecasts, and air quality information. Critics of the proposal say the delay could hurt the accuracy of forecasts and warnings, put lives at risk in severe weather situations. Now to your forecast. forecast today on this Friday. No severe weather expected today, Kyle. Just some nice weather ahead, right?
Yeah, some nice weather, and it's these calm weather times that it's good to make sure that you are prepared when we do have active weather. So make sure you get that free Storm Shield app downloaded as well. Not expecting any severe weather or any big winter weather systems to come our way here anytime soon. We've got temperatures out there this morning close to 50 degrees for you in Bloomington. You're in the 40s in Muncie at 48 and just barely in the 40s in Peru, right at 40 degrees. Temperatures, they take off pretty quickly here as we increase the clouds through the day. 47 at 10 a.m. We'll see temperatures today topping out again around 60 degrees. But every day this month so far has been without any rain or snow in the forecast. It looks like that changes as we go into this evening and especially tonight. Here's a look at TrueCast as we get into 7 o'clock tonight. Still cloudy skies, so right through the evening drive, I think we will be dry. Then as we get a little closer to 10 p.m. midnight tonight, we see some light scattered rain showers across the area, and that's going to linger here as we go into our Saturday morning. Fairly widespread rain, shouldn't be terribly heavy, but don't be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder or two as well as we get the system moving on through by mid-morning. As we head into the afternoon hours, we still have the clouds around, but just kind of isolated showers for us at that point. Rainfall adding up to about a ½ inch. Some areas, northwestern communities, could see a little bit more than that, a little closer to 1 inch of rainfall as the rain will move in a little earlier for you. Temperatures with the wet weather and clouds tonight staying well above average, even above our average high at 50 for the low. 52 in Columbus. We'll make it into the middle 50s tomorrow. Going to be breezy for us with that rain. And then on Sunday, that's where temperatures do change and get back to where we should be, right around 40 degrees for that afternoon number. As we check out the wind gusts, though, on Saturday, especially in the morning hours, we could have some of those gusts around 40 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour throughout the afternoon. Check for your 7-day planning forecast, and we've got temperatures that go a little bit colder, a little more December-like here for much of next week. Chance for a few snow showers by Tuesday night and Wednesday. Nicole?
All right, Kyle, thank you. Let's take a live look outside on this Friday morning. Here's a look up at I-465 at I-69 near Binford Boulevard, where you can see here at 548 traffic is beginning to pick up a bit in this area, but everything is moving smooth and up to speed, so no delays to slow you down as you're heading out.
So, Nicole, we need to break out our blue outfits once again. The Colts preparing for a big game against the Raiders on Sunday that could determine their shot at the playoffs. The Colts, as you know, are 8-4 and tied with Tennessee at the top of the AFC South Division. Right now, Tennessee holds the tiebreaker over the Colts. As it stands now, Indianapolis is in the 7th and final playoff spot. But the Raiders are 7-5, just a game behind the Colts, and Vegas is looking to get into the playoffs picture with a win.
Having gone against this defense and being in the division a few times, you certainly know they know me and I know them, and so whatever tweaks and things they may do is more in that kind of that chess match from me to them and them to me also, and collectively to our offense. So I think there's a little bit of a combination of that, but I don't see that there's necessarily a real advantage either way, other than just kind of is allowing you to go 29 times against the same franchise is pretty cool.
The Colts visit the Raiders in Las Vegas this Sunday. Kickoff time, 4:05 in the afternoon. Indianapolis time. As always, go Colts.
Go Colts. Hope we get a win. Thank you, Raphael. Well, red meat could mean bad news for your heart. This morning, a new study compares eating red meat against plant-based proteins and the effect on heart disease risk. There's a 12% higher risk of heart disease when eating a single serving of processed or unprocessed red meat per day. The study found the risk rises to 15% for a daily serving of processed meat like sausages, hot dogs, or bacon. Analysis found a choice to eat more plant proteins such as nuts, peas, or beans can lower heart disease risk by 14%.
It looks like the shortage of Clorox wipes may continue now until really the middle of next year. The popular disinfectant wipes are once again flying off store shelves as the coronavirus cases, of course, surge. This is now the third time of this year that the company's expectations have been crushed. Clorox has continuously pushed back the time frame when the nationwide shortages would ease. Its previous prediction was the end of this year. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on this Friday, December the 11th. We'll be right back right here on WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 5:54. This is a live look at I-465 there at Ditch Road, where traffic is moving smooth here in this area. No delays or crashes as you head out the door on this Friday. 7 Air Force trainees are marching into history. They are the first enlisted members of the U.S. Space Force. The airmen and women graduated Thursday at Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland. Now they will transfer to Vandenberg Air Force Base in California to start Space Force training. They will learn to operate radar stations and satellites, including the global positioning systems and ones that warn of incoming missiles.
So Nicole, this morning, a lost ring is now back with its rightful owner after crossing state lines. You gotta hear the story. Don Longo's fiancée misplaced her engagement ring at a restroom of a Long Island bagel shop in New York City. When Bill Bering used that same restroom, he found that misplaced ring. After a fruitless wait for the owner, Bering brought the ring home with him to Fredericksburg, Pennsylvania, knowing that he'd be back in New York the following week. When Bering returned to that bagel store, he asked the workers if anyone missing anything big or important. They contacted Longo, who rushed, of course, over to get that ring. I must point out, though, Nicole, that once you get married, right, your wife, in my case, she's already cemented my ring, so this thing is not coming off. Though I also think that when you reach a certain age and a certain weight, there's no way to pull it off, even if you want to.
See,
Not
my
that I want
husband
to, but I'm just
has
saying.
been taking his off when he takes a shower and stuff. I'm like, why are you taking it off? You know, it's dangerous. You can lose it.
It's just
Super
asking
glue.
for it to, go disappearing and traveling state lines.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Yeah, or worse yet, lose it down the drain, right? We don't want to do that.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
No, don't do that.
Don't put that out there. All right, temperatures today, hey, not bad at all. We've got 60 as those clouds will be returning to the area, and we've got the chance for some evening showers out there. As far as temperatures, enjoy the warmth while you can. We will be above average again on Saturday. Then we get back to where we should be, around 40 for the high on Sunday and a little below average for much of next week. Let's look ahead, though, shall we? This is the outlook that takes us right on into Christmas Day. Above average temperatures. That means if you're dreaming of a white Christmas, those chances continuing to go down.
Kyle, thank you so much. These are more than just lights on the lawn. Take a good look. All due in our next hour of Good Morning Indiana, the purpose behind this twinkling display and why 3rd and 4th graders are the focus of this big show.
Plus, millions of dollars in federal relief dollars are being left on the table. All new coming up in 15 minutes. We're talking the tough questions. We're taking these tough questions to leaders and asking why money intended to help you is not being spent. The time now is 5:57 here on your Friday. We are expecting a nice day ahead. Kyle will be back with a check of your forecast coming up in our next half hour.